Well, so here's the thing. If it happens once, it was just an accident. It's just
Hmm.
one day numbers. But now if you're in day 3 of amazing things happening, it's not an accident.
Yeah. So it was today. I mean, the weekend was big. What have I got today? Today's like 3.67. But today on the 16th, I've passed my best ever month, which was last month. And it's only the 16th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
that's pretty big.
That's so cool.
Sorry,
So
if someone running water, it will stop in a second. Can you hear that? It's so
it's
loud.
okay. I can hear a little bit of
Oh
background
my
noise,
God,
but
it's so loud. It's these
so
old pipes in
exactly.
this old house.
Oh, yeah, it's really okay. I mean, I've got mowers going outside, so they started
But,
as soon as I turned on the computer.
yeah, but yesterday was 6. The day before was Sunday was 9.
Yeah, Sunday was
Saturday was 6. So it's
9.16.
been a few days. Like
Yeah,
today's the least amount in a few days, and it's still like way better than I would normally do in a day.
exactly. So here's the thing. I think it's 2 point something in a day. I mean, you're projected at well over $1 million for the year now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's crazy. It's really good because my husband and I just met with our bank manager today because we're talking about rebuilding.
Yeah.
So just to be able to lay out a few numbers and go, yes, this is what I
Exactly.
this is what I earn.
That's right.
Although he wasn't interested in this year, he was looking at last year, which was 0. But yeah, last year I paid myself $4,400 last year.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Because I was building the business.
yeah.
And before I read that book last July, I thought every dollar I spent was building my business until I read that book and realized that no, you actually have to organize your money better than that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Do you do all your accounting yourself, or do you get
Yeah,
help
not
with it?
very good.
Yeah.
We have Xero. Do you have Xero? Accounting.
I use QuickBooks, which I'm not sure is available in
Okay,
Australia.
Xero is very big here. Everyone uses Xero. It's pretty much any dummy can do it. But it gets complicated once you employ people. So I can see now why people employ people just for payroll, because it's a pain in the neck. I've just got one casual who I'm putting onto full time,
Yeah.
but it is time consuming, and just reconciling everything just takes time. It gets pushed to the bottom of the list every day. So
Yeah.
I do it maybe once a month, or maybe not even that often, and so it becomes a bit of a task when I do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something I can look at getting someone to help down the track.
I know there are people who specialize in Xero because they've got a lot of marketing, associates who are in Australia. My light is terrible. It's terrible.
I look like I'm in the dark, but anyway.
You and I are brown as berries when the light is good, but this is not good. So anyway, yeah, I've hired that done for years because I'm not to be trusted with those numbers. I can do Facebook ads, I can do all kinds of resale numbers, but oh my gosh. And you're right
Yeah.
about paying yourself first. I mean, that book was really monumental for lots of people.
Yeah. I mean, I had to get to a certain point first.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you have to make money to be able to distribute
by
it.
the time I got to reading that book, I was at the point where, okay, what am I doing wrong? I've doubled my turnover since last financial year. Why aren't I paying myself? So, and that book just put everything in. It spoke to me so much, what I was doing, how I was thinking about everything. Yeah. And then when I think about that book, the idea behind it, it's like if I try and explain it to someone else, it just sounds like common sense. And it's like,
Well,
it's crazy that I had to read a book to tell me how to do that.
yeah, but I mean, think of all the other messages that we get online, like, throw every penny back into the business and grow it. And, if you're not relying on it for your bread and butter, then of course you're going to do that because you want to grow your business. But
Yeah.
but then you're in a situation like you were in where you're making money and it's
Mhm.
okay. And, you have enough to buy inventory, but you better get in the habit of paying yourself.
Mm.
You better get in the habit of putting away taxes.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Just takes the stress away too. I think just operating out of this one big account, which is what I was doing, which he explains early on in the book, it's stressful, and you make decisions based on the figure in that account. Whereas now I don't even have to think about it because everything is organized and it's percentages, and it just takes the thought out of it and the stress.
Yeah.
But when sales were low at the beginning of the year, that those percentages stopped working. So it's like I have to be at a certain level for those percentages to work. Otherwise I have to put it all into my expenses.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, learning and learning. But I prepared some stuff. So just notes. So I read your questions, and I've got a lot to say on each of them. So
Good. And this is going to be so easy. This is just a
yeah.
conversation. This
I
is
did a
like,
video today, actually. We did photos. My photographer, she's wonderful. She's a very close friend of mine. And she goes, we need to do some videos. And I'm like, oh, I used to do videos. All right, let's do videos. So I did two, actually.
okay.
So, and she just sent them to me today. I'm like, I don't hate them. They're okay.
Great. Good.
Yeah. So
Good. Not hating them is a
I
great
say
place to
a
start.
lot. But I had remember I told you about that video person on Instagram, Let Me Try Before You Buy,
Yeah.
who did a video post, and that was that was in May, and I did 6,000 in one day, which was unheard of only a month ago.
At that
Um,
time, sure.
yeah, at that time, I've beaten that record since. Um, anyway, she has sent, I saw a friend of mine sent me an article that she was in. So some media thing did an article, and I went and I looked at it and I went, and I already had one booked in for next month.
Yep.
And it's not cheap. It's like about $1,000.
Yeah.
But her reach is huge. Her engagement's huge. It just really speaks to buyers and their pain points of buying online, which are the, having it fit, having it look right. What's it look like on someone this size, that size? So it's definitely worth it. Even if you don't make those sales that day, I feel like you're gaining a lot of people in that process.
Yeah.
So anyway, I quickly emailed and said, I'm looking at, locking you into as an ongoing thing. And her husband rang me because she was so busy after that article. And he told me she was going on two very popular programs, one that night called The Project, which is like our primetime bit of a fun news program, and then the morning show in the morning, the next morning. So I was like, but I said, I want to book in once a month for the rest of the year. So they're locked in, thank goodness, because you saw her followers just go up and up and up once those shows aired.
Good.
So I was like, I've got to lock her in before she becomes unreachable.
That's great, because then, her reach expands and.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of little, I feel like I've got a lot of little solid things going on that are all contributing to this. So like that's just one thing, but it's a big thing. And then my back in stock app has been fantastic. And I think a little bit of scarcity is obviously created more demand. And when it is in stock, I better jump on it quick. So it just has that effect. So yeah, it's just been planning, but the pre-orders stress me out if they're delayed and this and that. So I just overestimated how long my jeans coming were going to take and put them up for pre-order, but made sure it was very visible. This is an estimated time of arrival, like no promises, and they showed up a few days early. So that all worked out well, and they sold crazy.
Yeah.
Like they were jeans that I bought for $27 and I put them up for $99, and they just sold. As the minute I put them up, they were just selling. But there was people adding to this list for probably 3 months, because I thought I was going to have them probably about 2 months ago, maybe longer. So it's just sort of been this little thing, collecting. Oh, I like those, but I can't have them. I like those, but I can't have them. And then once they were available, even if just 20% of that, those people bought, it's a lot of sales.
Right.
Yeah, so there's that, and the ads are working really well. Like that's not even talking about the ads yet. So,
Right, exactly. That's the thing. So why don't we start at the beginning and
mhm.
I'll introduce you. I've been
Yep.
recording right along. This may turn into something that gets edited and pieced
That's
together,
okay.
but you're
That's all right.
brilliant. And just the way you talk about your business and your progress, I love it every single time. So it's going to be great no matter what happens.
Okay,
So
thank you.
so I'll go ahead and let's see, 7:05. So I'll do that just so I can find the spot on the video.
Mhm.
Um, hey everybody, I'm Amy Biddle from the eCommerce Traffic Handler, and I'm here with Tegan Vincent, who is the owner of the boutique Sunday Styler in Australia. She is kicking some major butt down under. So let's talk about Tegan's business journey and success and what she's doing and how she got there. And Tegan, I am thrilled to be talking with you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. It's great to talk to you. You've helped me so much, Amy, and I'd be happy to talk about all of that.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
I'll start with before I was connected with you. I started, I'm in my fourth year, so I've just finished my third year. I'm at the beginning of my fourth year. When I started, it was basically, I worked really hard to build up an Instagram profile, really trying to create a beautiful feed. I've been in sales my whole life, so really sort of knew how to talk to the customers and just tried to create something really lovely on Instagram. And so all my sales were coming from Instagram, social media. So I was working on building up followers, thinking, well, once I have so many followers, well, that will equal to so many sales, and those people will buy from me, over and over again. And looking back now, I think that's such a little naive view of the business world, the e-commerce world. So I built that up. I worked really hard at that and built that up to about 20,000 followers in the first 2 years. And, but it was, and I would make sales, but um, I had no email flows. I had no abandoned cart emails. I would send out a new arrivals email to my subscribers. So I'd capture emails, but, and then, and I played around with ads a little bit. So the
Well,
ads,
let's talk about retargeting too, because in
yeah.
the
So
beginning,
the ads I started with before I met you guys, they were very low spend. They were very basic. I had a little bit of success, but they were the targeting wasn't sophisticated. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was sort of winging it. So um, yeah, that's when I met you guys. I was very keen to learn how to really um, master the art of this. And I thought it would be a little short course, but how long have I been with you? 18
well,
months.
yeah, you've
And
been
I'm
here a year.
still learning every day. And I still feel like there is so much more to learn. But yeah, it's not just a short little learn how to do it. It's constant.
Yeah, which is amazing. You'd think, oh, Facebook ads, maybe throw on a couple of Insta, posts and, because your images are so beautiful and your presentation is brilliant. And you'd think that would be half the battle.
Mm.
But you have dialed in your audiences, your ads, your just the numbers. So just to give people who are listening a kind of a basic idea, do you remember where you were when you joined for say monthly revenue? It's
A
really like
month.
4,000 a month.
It was maybe a bit more than
A
that.
little more? Okay.
Um, it's hard to think back that far. A really good month. I think a good month was like 18,000 was like a
Oh,
fantastic
okay.
month.
All right. All right. Good.
Um, yeah, it was probably more around the four. Yeah, so long ago. You might be right. I might be
I
forgetting
seem
where I
to
was at.
recall you were stuck around, struggling. I mean, 18, phenomenal. 18 would have been a phenomenal month for you then. And
Maybe
your
like
cost per sale, when you could get that down, we were all doing the happy dance. you know,
Mm,
like
that's right.
when that became an acceptable level. And now, you know, your cost per sale is, you know, so low. You're just so much in profit all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah. Um, so I decided to work with you guys because um, I wanted I wanted to learn how it all worked myself so I could be in control of it. And I wanted all the money I was putting into it to be spent on ads, because obviously you need to put money into ads. I didn't want to pay someone to do that for me, then pay for the ads as well, because it's so it was important for me to learn it myself. And um, yeah, just so I could put the money into the ads. Um, so when I started working with you, Amy, I'll just say a few things about working with you.
Thank you.
I love how you're always available, even with the time difference, me being in a completely different time zone, other side of the world. You've always been available to me. You know, it could be late at night here and I'm panicking about something, and you're always able to settle me into rethinking things the way they are and just calm down. It's okay. Try this. And you've got a very calming effect. Um, and I love how much that you care. And every win that I have, I feel like you share that win with me. And yeah, I feel like my wins are your wins. Yeah, I really feel like you care about each and every one of us in the e-commerce traffic handler group. So it's like, and talking of the group, it's a really great community to be a part of. We're all from completely different businesses, different countries, and just the camaraderie between us all, and all cheering each other on and wanting to do well and learning from each other. There's things that I've learned from other members that some people are really tech savvy, some people are great on the emails, and just that huge network of knowledge just in that group, I think, is really been so valuable to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And it's really been fun to have this group evolve together. You know, so many members have been in there for quite some time now. And,
Yeah.
you know, just how people, I think it was after about the first 6 months, people started helping each other. And I thought, okay, wow, now we've got some group culture, and it's not just, you know, one person leading, because one person can't know everything. You know,
That's
I mean,
right.
I've been in marketing for like 1,000 years, it feels like, but it's not, I can't know everything. So
Mm,
when someone like you're so good at the visual presentation, or some of the other members who are so good at like apps, or, you know,
mm.
specific things about Shopify, it's amazing the help
Yeah,
that
and I
they,
think you told me, I think you said about helping other people actually teaches you yourself again. I can't remember your wonderful wording, but that stuck with me. Just and I try and help everyone I meet in business, because I know how hard it is, and it's you know, it can break you some days, and just to have someone give you a little tip, and I love, you know, just giving people a little bit of help here and there that I've learned, and it just, yeah, it makes you feel like, oh, I do know some stuff.
yeah, you do know some stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you came in, you had some struggles, you overcame a lot, you learned a lot. You and I spent some
I
time.
think I was probably heading towards burnout before I met you guys. So just working on the Instagram, I thought I was just trying to create for this little audience that I'd managed to capture. And I'm thinking I need new arrivals every single week, because I've got to keep it fresh for those 10,000 people or those 20,000 people. And so I was trying so hard to keep this Instagram feed really fresh and new stuff all the time, to keep all these people interested. And it, as a small little business, it was just killing me, because that was photos, it was editing, it was adding to the website, it was choosing the stock, it was sending out emails for new arrivals, it was and I was working really, really hard. And it wasn't until I started with the e-commerce traffic handler group that it really opened my eyes up to the different systems and procedures, like the email flows, and just the abandoned carts, and And the top of funnel, like I don't have to have it fresh and new every week because I am putting in front of fresh and new people every single day who have never seen it before. So I was able to really slow things down and restock the things that were selling great. And I wasn't just talking to these tiny little group of people that had already bought this. I was talking to new people every single day. So my top of funnel has always been really strong. And then learning about the retargeting. And I used to see ads of other businesses and go, how did that pop back up? How did they know I was on that website? So learning how to do that. And I'm like, oh, I know how to do that. So that's a retargeting campaign.
That's right. And you do that all the time now because, you know, if we give away the farm in this interview, you know, we can tell people till the cows come home, you know, look, you're going to build cold audiences. You're going to do retargeting. You're going to, which for anyone who's watching this who doesn't know, that's getting in front of your audience again, you know. I don't just see an ad once and buy, not usually.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing that this group has and this course has done for me is even though I'm still working really hard, I'm able to better manage my time. I'm able to just breathe more and have all these automated systems in place that just bring in sales constantly without me having to be working so hard in the business every single day. It's I can take a step back. What works? And knowing the ads and knowing where to put your money and I mean, I shared with you last week, what was the crazy return on ad spend I had in my top of funnel was 11 point something.
Yeah, it was crazy.
For every dollar I was spending that week, I was getting 11 times that back. And then in the retargeting campaign, it was 28.8 times return. So, which I just blew my mind to see numbers like that. And I talked to other people in business who, you know, they cringe at the thought of putting money into ads. And I said, if you work them right and if you find your audience and they start working and you start getting a return, like that money's nothing compared to what you can get out of it.
Right, exactly. And so one of the things that you have done, which has been very specific and very has brought you a lot of success, is that you have built an ad machine, basically, which is what we're talking about, that you don't have to change that much, right? You're not messing around with your ads every day.
I'm afraid to touch them, to be honest. Like when they're working good, I'm like, I don't want to touch them. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to change something and then they drop off. I think, oh, I should have left it. So I just let them go. And I find there's just a bit of they might get a bit of ad fatigue and I might just have to do a little tweak here and there. But yeah, I really don't spend a lot of time looking at the data, looking at, I'm not an analytical person. That's not my thing. I'm more of a creative. So I let you guys worry about that for me. And if I have any questions, you guys explain all the data to me. But as long as my cost per conversion is in a nice little sweet spot that I think is reasonable, I'm happy. And they've been working really well for a long time.
Yeah. It's truly amazing because I remember in the beginning you were knocking yourself out to do product drops every week.
Yeah.
And you know, you were killing yourself and it was awful. It was awful to watch.
It really was. And I think if I hadn't joined this group, I probably wouldn't be in business today, 18 months later. I don't think I'd still be doing this because you can't put in that much work and not see anything back. You can only do that for so long.
Yeah. So, well, let's talk about today because now you have broken your monthly revenue records every month but one. And we're in the middle of the global pandemic right now. So the fact that
I messaged you the other day asking, is it broken? Did I break something? And all these people are going to ask for their money back in a minute. I don't know.
But you've been breaking records since October. Every month is better. It's better. So
so today is the 16th of the month, and I've just passed last month's number, which was my best ever month last month, May. and now June, I've already smashed that number just halfway through this month. So I looked at I'm not a figures person, but my sales are up 73% on last month, and conversion rate is up 54%. My conversion rate is 4%, 4.05% on, which, I mean, I don't know what, if conversion rates,
On a
I'm not a
scale
data
of 1 to 10,
person.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know where this month is going, but it's looking like I could crack 100,000 this month, which
Yeah.
is like, I could probably pass that by a little bit too, by the way things are
I'm
going.
thinking you will, the way you've been going. So, and the
Well,
amazing,
my best ever day was on Sunday just recently, and that was over 9,000 in one day. And that's like, I used to be happy if I could do that if I could get to that in 1 week, even just recently, like I'm talking just a few months ago. If I got to 9,000 a week, I was like, yep, that's good. That's a good number. And yeah, to get that in one day is that was 82 orders in one day. So it was just crazy.
that is crazy. It's crazy good.
Yeah.
It's really crazy good. And I couldn't be happier for you. And the amazing thing, Tegan, is that you and I have recently identified some areas for more growth for you.
Yes.
So we're going to be working on emails,
Mm-hmm.
and all the control that gives you with emails, and managing how your control over your entire machine goes. And then we're talking too about inventory management so that you can support all of this. Yeah, we're reaching people and you're fulfilling orders. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, the next step is, as you were saying, that the cold audience, top of funnel customers are the most expensive to get, and we're getting plenty of those. So, and I did look at some of the stats with returning custom rate was down. So I'm like, okay, well, those are my best customers. That needs to be really worked on. So, what is it? Customer retention. Is that the lingo?
Yeah. Customer retention and your lifetime value. So
Yeah.
if you get one customer and she buys from you, how long is that going to last and how much is she going to spend over time? And you get that one customer buying, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100 times, that if you acquired her once, you spent money to acquire that one customer, then, holy cow, you're in business for a very long time.
Yeah, so I need to look at doing lists with people that are regularly spending lots with me. And then there's the people that maybe used to and haven't for a few months. I guess they're all different type of segments and things I need to work on and work out what to do with them as well. It's one thing to make the list, it's another thing to know what to do with them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and you've got amazing, really interesting segments too, like women who buy specific sizes of clothes. So then you could get, a segment for this group or just it's really amazing how you can segment your lists and grow. But the next year, we're I can't even imagine. You're just going to be so.
Well, I was just thinking today, normally I would be in a sale right now because it's end of financial year in 2 weeks here in Australia. We go from July to June, and everything is on sale. I would normally have an end of financial year sale, and I'm not discounting one thing.
You don't need to.
No. So I was nervous thinking, oh, everyone's going to start discounting now, and they have. And I'm thinking, why are they doing that? But I don't need to. So it's great because obviously I get to keep the profit in the right. Sales too.
Yeah. And you're paying yourself.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It's so great. It's so great.
It's nice.
Yeah. So listen, I know it's getting late where you are. I want to congratulate you on, being here in the group. Thank you for being here in the group because you are just such a bright spot. It's just.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me in the group. as I said before, you're always there when I need you. I've never had to wait long for a response. And you don't make it seem like a job. You obviously love what you do, and it brings you joy to help businesses and help us little guys. And and I see all the success with the other people in the group, and we couldn't do it without a great mentor like you. So thank you for everything you've done for all of us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations on becoming, you're a paper millionaire at this point.
I
So
keep telling my husband that, and he's laughing at me, but
let
I
him
keep
laugh.
telling him.
Let him laugh all the way to the bank.
I said, we were at the bank today, and I said, make sure you tell them I'm a millionaire when we try and get that loan.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But yes, on paper, I know. That's right.
Yeah. And that turns into, month after month, you get those revenues, and then, we're just going to keep growing. We're just going to keep growing. So, $1 million, you're over $1 million in revenue projected right now. So we'll get you to the 5 million next mark.
Yeah, well, it's nice to start the new financial year over here starts next month. So it's great to start the new year with hitting the ground running. And I can't wait to see, where I am this time next year.
Yeah. Huge, huge growth. Tegan, thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Not a problem.
All right. So is there...
I'm sorry, I lose my train of thought, and I was like, but I'm thinking at the same, I'm like, she'll cut this.
No, I'm gonna just collect this awesome, story, because, there'll be a short version, there'll be the whole version. There, this is great.
And I didn't want to give too many secrets away either. They have to buy the course.
Well, you and I both know that we could give away the whole story here. We could spend an hour just doing a tutorial, and they're still going to need help. That's the thing. That from when, like, if you're talking to Sonia or somebody else in your business group, they're not going to get it the first time you tell them.
That's it.
I mean, I'm writing a book right now, and it's going to give away an enormous amount of content and, practical stuff. And people still need, it's not just 10 or 12 weeks. It's not just one book. It's way more than that. So I'm not afraid to tell people everything.
Yeah. Are you getting many people join up?
I've been extremely selective, and I actually haven't even been advertising. So that needs to be starting.
And how are you finding the workload? Like, is it a fine balance between how many can I take on, how many can I pay attention to, or?
Yeah, kind of. Like, I could probably onboard, I'd be stretched thin, but I could probably bring in about 10 new businesses a month. That would be a lot, that would be a lot of work. But, right now, everybody has been in the group at least 3 months. I think the newest member has been in 3 or 4 months. And, it's okay. I mean, I get a lot more.
I've got a friend in that business group who just started doing a bit of a coaching. Her thing is marketing. So she's all about the branding, and she sort of used me and another girl as a bit of guinea pigs. That was when I started my new website, and she really helped me with the branding there. We did a bit of a workshop, and she's just started, doing this coaching. But she said she's gone from having her own successful e-commerce store, but she loves the startup phase. She gets to a point where it's successful business. She's like, I'm bored with that. I want to help other people during that process. So, but she's finding it really difficult to switch from product-based to service-based, and obviously come up with content, manage her time. Because she had her business working quite well for her, and she's like, I forgot about the startup phase, how much time you need to put into it. And she's selling these webinars and courses and getting them to sign up to the next stage that she hasn't yet written, but she's like, I just have to get the people. And she's very good. She's like a marketing guru. So, but yeah, I just wondered how you were finding it all. But But I mean, that's been your jam for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
The coaching and
I've been in online marketing every day for the last 12 years.
oh wow,
In April, it was 12 years. And then before that, it was part-time, but
okay,
like full-time since April of '08.
hmm
And, there's nothing like it. There's just nothing like it. I mean, I just eat this stuff up. I read books, I do projects, I help
yeah. That's like
businesses.
my friend as well.
Yeah.
She reads so much. She reads stats and she loves. Yeah, she's a lot like you in that way, where she just eats up information and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
reside.
I
She'll go,
just,
have you
and
seen this? Have you seen this? I'm like, no, I don't have time. No, I haven't seen any of that.
exactly. And that's why, you really need to have a group or some support in your pocket because you can't know everything, which is how we started our conversation. I
Yeah,
don't know every app in Shopify. I don't know every trick. I know a lot,
yeah,
but I don't know all. And one person can't. So,
yeah. I've got my mum. My mum's got her own real estate business, and she she says everyone's doing videos. Everyone, she goes, I really need to get onto the whole social media marketing, this and that. And I'm telling her about Facebook ads, but I wouldn't have a clue where to start for her business in how to target it, or I don't know. Have you done much service-based stuff?
yeah, it's actually interesting with real estate. There are special categories now. So it's a little bit tricky, but you
Hmm.
can do DPAs for real estate as
What
if
are
you're
they?
shopping in the catalog for
Hmm.
real estate. It's really interesting. So with her, it'd be more like a lead generation funnel than an e-commerce funnel,
Mm.
and but it is still a special category. So it's a little bit tricky because Facebook is so, and I think it's going to be the same in Australia as it is here, but they're so picky about not having discrimination. And so with
Hmm.
housing, they're like, no, you can't discriminate against anybody, and we're going to, really break everything to make sure that you're not, you know, leaving
What is
anybody.
it discriminating against?
Well, like housing discrimination, like everybody in this neighborhood must be a certain race, and we're only going to sell to people who you know, uh, meet this financial or race or religious grouping. So they're working really hard to make sure that that kind of discrimination isn't happening. But in the meantime, what's happening is they're um, uh, breaking a lot of people's funnels. Because
Okay.
if there's no discrimination, but you use a word like color, for example, in an ad,
Hmm.
that's the bots just misread that and slow everything down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but as far as your mom's concerned, yeah, that would be a lead generation funnel. I've done those. They're actually very simple, easy, and the trick is bring in the leads, and then the person who's following up, the burden is on them to convert
Mm.
those leads. But we
Yeah.
can, I've gotten dental for a dentist's office. I think it was about 2 years ago. I was getting $2 leads, $2 per lead for a $10,000 dental procedure. So,
Yeah.
and the problem
Well,
with
that's
that,
what we're talking in real estate. You're talking a 10,000, 12,000, maybe more commission.
exactly.
Um, if yeah, for the lead. So yeah, it's tricky. I'm just wondering how you analyze the data, the conversion rate, which obviously you're not going to have that in the ads manager. You're just going to have how many leads it produced,
Exactly.
and then yeah,
Exactly. And that's
make
the
it
tricky
something.
part. So if she ends up, let's say she's in our group, she builds her own funnel. She has a buyer's funnel and a seller's funnel, or
Hmm.
some other kind of construct, like what I was doing a number of years ago, working with realtors and other small local businesses. You just become the local authority on the area.
Yeah.
By doing that, like having your finger on the pulse on schools, activities, community building, stuff like that, then anyone who wants to buy or sell, because then you're continually in front of people as the
Mm.
local authority. And
I'm
that,
just wondering, she's so time poor, and whether a lot of this would be over her head. Um, uh, do you work with people that have like their employee do this for them?
yeah, yeah. In fact, in the group right now, uh, Nancy has her store employee Amber also as a member of the group.
Okay.
So, if your mom joined and does she have an assistant? Does she have either a
She's the
VA
owner
or?
of the business, so she's got a few people working there. She's looking to take a step out of the business soon and just be an agent. And um, I think she was looking at employing someone. I think she's got a few shared assistants, so I think she was looking at maybe getting someone just for herself. And then she's been asking me, should I be paying people to do my ads? And she's more a pay for someone do it kind of person than
Yeah,
sit there and learn it the way I have.
right, right. Which would make a ton of sense. I mean, if all she wants to do is go out and either take buyers out or go list houses,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. She can do that.
Yeah.
And she can have somebody, like she'd be in the group. And so she'd be able to come in and ask questions whenever she wanted. But then
Mm-hmm.
her assistant would also be a full member of the group, same price, it's included.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, she can um, really maintain control of her life. It's super smart to outsource time like that. She'll be
Mm.
having 48-hour days in no time.
I just didn't know how does it not matter what industry you're in, does it matter what you're selling, it's just knowing how to target.
Yeah, it starts with targeting. I mean, you know how nutty I am
I
about
mean, she's got a huge
audiences.
database, but they're not like they're just people who they
Well,
might not be selling or buying or doing anything right now. They're just people that she's got in a database. So I don't know if
exactly.
those sort of lists help at all, or
Well, they
obviously you
do.
do a bit more of a demographic, like an area
It's
targeting.
it's definitely local, and so the geographic targeting is critically important. Because she's not going to be. Is she in Sydney?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's not
So
going to
how do you
be.
know who you're targeting? Like you can do an area, but it's a bit like putting an ad out in the newspaper. Like not everyone in that area is looking to sell. So how do you,
Exactly, which is why using
what
that.
they're looking at? Is it targeting people that are looking at realestateonline.com or something?
It's a combination of. Did you see when Carter and I were working on her pin drop
Oh, I
thing?
vaguely remember. I can't remember the details.
That's okay. It's a combination of pin drop and interest,
Mm-hmm.
and then how she would convey her message in the ads.
Mm.
And the call to action is always going to be for
Because I don't feel like I know enough to, even with you telling me this now, I don't feel like I know enough to be able to direct someone else how to do it. I'm just
yeah.
wondering if
Oh, I'm not
you'd be
worried about that.
confident in being able to make that happen.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
she's
mean,
she's got a great name in her area. She's one of the top agents in her area, but she feels like she's getting left behind in this digital world.
yeah. And she will, because more and more people are going to be just digital. Yeah, you could. Is she on Facebook? Do you want to have her just get a hold of me, and she and I can sit and
Yeah,
just chat?
sure. I'll get her to contact you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on Facebook, and she's not a complete, tech. I don't know what words to use. Uh, anyway, you know what I'm
She can
saying.
turn on her computer. She's not a
Yeah, and she can use Facebook pretty well, but I think
good.
that's about it.
Okay, that's fine. And so you can introduce your mom like you introduced Sonia and me,
Mhm.
and then I'll take over, and if she wants to come in the group and bring a an assistant or however she wants to do it.
Mhm.
The
But
short
you're
answer is
pretty
yes.
confident you could turn things around, like you'd be able to generate a lot of leads
Yeah.
from. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I share all my success with her all the time with my numbers and things, and
Yeah,
tell her that it's from ads, and um, so she knows it can be done.
it
It's
can be done. It can be done for just
it's,
about any industry.
there's so much noise here from people that claim to be these um, marketing experts, and she showed me this email from someone that was going to help with the social media and this and that, and it talked about boosting posts. I'm like, no, they don't know
No,
what they're doing
no,
at
they're not going to
all. You
be
don't boost
boosting posts.
posts.
No, no, that's a
I
waste
said,
of
right,
money.
I've read boost posts. No, she's no
No,
good. I don't know. I don't care what she's charging. You don't want to go with her. But there's
absolutely.
so many so-called experts, so they promise you the world, and they actually don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. There is a lot of noise out there. I mean, I'm even a member of groups just to look and see what they're doing. And there are people with absolutely no experience who've never run an ad who are out
Mm,
there saying, you know, I'll run your ads for a month for free and then we'll take over. And, that they can ruin a business doing that. It's
mm,
terrible. It's
yeah,
really awful. And, no experience, or I'll charge you $1,000 and we'll do the promises on the moon and the stars. It doesn't work like that.
yeah.
That's
So
not.
yeah, all right. I'll have a talk to her. I'm going to see her tomorrow anyway, and I'll have a chat with her, and
Yeah,
yeah, I'll get her to contact you, or yeah, do a group chat.
yeah, we can just start off with a group chat like you and Sonia and I did, and that's great. And then if she's got a dedicated assistant who can do this, or even just somebody part-time, they could be in the group and learn, and she can just touch base with them, or
Yeah, I'm just getting her to work on some content too. I've told her to start doing
Good.
some video, and my photographer loves video, so she's going to start doing some things like that. So she's going to do some talking videos, and
Good, good.
um, so just yeah, I'm trying to get her to think about content. Seems like everyone in real estate's doing video at the moment, market updates and all different things. So
Well,
um,
so think about this as she's thinking about her content, thinking about it in a broader sense. Like, be the expert on her town, be the expert on her, area, whatever her geographic area is.
mhm,
And we can make that very specific. And if there are areas um, in her whole region that she wants to exclude, like one bad area in a corner, we can exclude them, and
okay,
no worries, no worries. So
yeah,
so as she's doing the content, she could do, what's happening with schools, what's
mhm.
happening with community events face to face, because I don't know about down there, but up here a lot of areas are still in lockdown and we're not
We
doing
just
face.
had a neighbouring school. One teacher just tested positive, so the whole school's shut. And yeah, it's a bit close because they're zoned for our local high school, and our school has siblings at that high school. They would have siblings at that high school, so I'm like, oh, it's a bit close.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're all holding our breath for the second wave here. To be honest,
yeah.
we'd been going really good. There was no new cases for like 11 days, and in our area, in our shire. But yeah, we've had a couple just in the last few days. So, and at a school no less. So
Right,
it's all.
exactly.
Are you
Yeah.
still locked down?
In Florida, it's interesting. They've opened beaches and stores and restaurants, and last Saturday we had 2,500 new cases.
Oh
It's,
wow!
I
What?
know, it's crazy, right? Because
The
3 or 4 weeks
country?
ago, no, just in the state of Florida,
Are you serious?
2,500 new cases, right?
Oh
50,
my
I think it was
god!
49 or 50 deaths just last week.
Oh
So
wow!
I know it's
And
it's
they're opening things back up there.
there. Yeah, they're
Wow.
opening up, and it's crazy. So
Well,
now
we
some
sound like we're
states,
panicking about nothing. We have a couple in the state of New South Wales, and in a day, and everyone's like, "Oh no, it's coming back."
well, that's the thing. It seems to be highly communicable. I'm staying home. I've
Yeah,
had two
we
people
just
in
had
my
a heap of
house.
people join in the protests in Sydney and Melbourne and all the major cities, and yeah, that was, and I think a few tested positive that had been there, and so we're just going, oh no,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
it's nuts.
but
That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So we're staying home. We just on Saturday we had our first restaurant meal
Oh
in
yeah.
3 months. You know,
Yeah.
'cause it's birthday month. So we had
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
good.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going out tomorrow night with Mum. We're going in the city, and we've got tickets to see this Australian singer. He's hasn't been around for a long time. He never has been. I think he was a one-hit wonder. And yeah, it's dinner but
Nice.
there's like 40. It's 4 to a table, so we've bought a table of 4, and then there's only 10 tables being sold. So this poor washed-up rock star is performing for 40 people on a Wednesday night.
Oh wow. Wow. Look at
So
what the
anyway,
world has come to. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna have a really
yeah, we're happy to go out. So
good. Good.
it'll be good.
Good.
Yeah, so I hope you got everything you needed. And
Absolutely. This has just been phenomenal, and thank you.
oh,
And
good. You're welcome. I tried my best. I really,
you are lovely.
I wanted to
So
do it justice.
no, you're great. And so plenty of footage. There'll be a short version, a long version. I, I don't know where it'll go.
Rambling version.
Pretty much, yeah. So
All
Tegan,
right.
thank you. I hope you have a great night.
Thank you. You too. You're very welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
I hope so. All right.
Okay. See
Bye
ya.
now.
Bye.
Bye.